The Denis Hurley Centre in Durban observed Mandela Day by instilling a love for literature and helping the homeless earn an income from selling books. The centre has launched a month-long book drive aiming to collect 10,050 good quality second-hand books to sell. This number equals the days former President Nelson Mandela spent in prison. The collected books will support Street Lit, an entrepreneurial program that empowers homeless and formerly homeless individuals. The Feel Good entrepreneurial program enables a team of homeless and formerly homeless men and women to earn a modest living, having a renewed life purpose, and to encourage and enable people to read more books. And for more on this initiative, we're now joined by Director of Denis Hurley Centre, Dr. Raymond Perrier, and he joins us now via our video link. Dr. Raymond, thank you so much for your time. Perhaps let's start off here. Tell us more about the initiative that you are running for Mandela Day.
So, as you were just mentioning, we have at the Denis Hurley Centre a group of men and women who have been homeless, who've been living on the streets and are now making a living by selling books. They're all off the streets, using the money they earn to pay for shelters, or in most cases pay for rooms and pay for their own flats. And this is a program called Street Lit. It's been running now for 5 years, hugely successful, helping guys to make not just a good living, but also to do something which is, if you like, respectable, which sees them as very much contributing to society. So they're selling secondhand books all around Durban. As you see here, this is David Sitole, who has a bookstall just behind the workshop in the center of Durban. But we also have guys in malls, we have guys in theaters and conference centers. We have guys selling at churches, selling at schools, and obviously to make that happen, we need a lot of second-hand books. And people have been hugely generous over the years in giving us second-hand books, but we thought let's try and get people really focused during this month. Everyone wants to do something on Mandela Day. There's way too much going on one day, so we thought we'd spread it out through the whole month. And so, as you say, we have a book drive for the whole of July, and the challenge is to collect 10,052 books for the 10,052 days that Nelson Mandela spent in prison.
Why specifically books, especially to help the homeless?
Well, if you think about it, spending time in prison is really tough, and we know from Mandela's own diaries that that reading was one of the things that kept him sane. It's also one of the things which gave him hope and gave him the opportunity to grow and develop and really learn while he's imprisoned. And we hear that from so many of our homeless guys. I think the danger is to dismiss homeless people as if they can't read or they're not interested in reading. And we've heard from so many of them that that actually, if you haven't got a smartphone, you haven't got somewhere to charge your phone, you haven't got access to the internet, then actually being able to read is wonderful. So all of our homeless guys who are in the Street Lit program are themselves avid readers, which also makes them excellent at then selling books to other people. And one of the reasons we do this is that books, sadly, are really expensive. New books are really expensive in South Africa. If you're buying a book, a new novel for 250 or 300 Rand, that's more than some people earn in a day. There's a really shocking statistic. In South Africa, 6 out of 10 households do not have a single book at home other than the Bible. 6 out of 10 households. So what we're able to do with this program is not only help homeless guys make a living, but get books back into circulation at affordable prices so people can buy the books and enjoy them.
How many books have you managed to collect so far? I mean, because this is a month-long initiative.
So my colleague Illa Thompson, who runs this program, tells me that as of Friday afternoon, we had received 4,212. We know that there are books waiting for us to collect. We've got about a dozen churches around the city which are drop-off points for the books, and if anyone is in Durban and they want to donate books, they can go to our Facebook page or our website and they'll find a list of all the different places where they can drop off books between now and the 31st of July. So we're pretty confident that all being well, we will hit that target of 10,052. But please, now is the time. Look at the good books you got. We don't want old books. We don't want books that no one wants to read. We want really good books, particularly modern novels. But if you're not going to read them again, then donate them to us because we can make sure they get read and they help homeless people make a sensible living.
And are these points of dropping off these books only available in Durban? How does the rest of South Africa get involved to ensuring that this initiative is a success?
Well, at the moment, we only run this program in Durban. We know that some of our colleagues in the National Homeless Network are keen to look at how they can replicate a similar program in their own cities. I have seen a few individual homeless guys selling books, particularly in Joburg and in Pretoria, so they have to collect their own books. So if you're in those cities and you see one of those guys, then do help them. At the moment, this program is only in Durban, but it certainly has the capacity to go nationwide. If anyone's watching and they want to run a similar program in their town or city, then they can get in touch with me via the Denis Hurley Centre website, and let's talk. Let's see what's possible.
And of course, I mean, this has been running for at least 5 years now, benefiting a number of homeless people. Tell us more about, those who have been able to benefit from this initiative and to start these businesses and to sell these books.
It's really interesting. We've got some guys who joined early on and are still part of the program, still very much committed to it, and making a really good living. I mean, some of them are now have rented their own flats. They have regular selling spots. They've got regular customers, and this has become their profession. There are others who have used this as a stepping stone to something else, a way of turning their lives around, a way of getting themselves sorted out, and it's enabled them, for example, to go back to their families or to use the money to get other forms of training and to pursue other lines of work. So either way, it's a step out of some of the vicious circle of being on the streets, people treating you badly. After a while, you see yourself the way other people see you, and it becomes really hard to turn your life around.
How has this been received by those you're appealing to? I mean, you're mostly appealing to the homeless because you want to get them off the streets and to make them more independent. How has this been received by those who have been benefiting from this?
Oh, they love it. They absolutely adore what they do. As I say, the people on the program are all people who love to read. They love to share their joy of reading. And of course, there's a great pride. They're running their own business. Remember, they don't work for us. They work for themselves. Our role is to equip them to run their own businesses. And there's immense pride and immense joy in being able to do that. And I know we've heard from so many of our booksellers talk about how they've been able to go back to their families. They've taken money home at Christmas. They've said, look, you thought I was failing in life. Now look at me. Now look at how I have turned my life around. And they're also a really important role models to other homeless guys. So selling books obviously doesn't suit everybody, but the idea of somebody putting in the time and the effort and taking advantage of an opportunity to transform their lives, our booksellers are really good at being mentors to other homeless men and women and say, look, you can do something. You can do something that changes your life if you're willing and if you're committed.
All right, Dr. Raymond, thank you so much for your time.